Well, my name is Joshua from CHESLA. Thank you for joining. We'll give everybody a few minutes to join in. Thank you for joining. If you can just put your name, title, and occupation in the chat, and we'll give everybody else a few more minutes, and then we'll get started.
Josh, just letting you know, I think if we put our names in the chat, the entire group will see us, not just our breakout.
Oh, okay.
So I
Sounds
don't know
good. Good heads up.
yeah. I mean, it seems like we have a smaller group here anyway, so
Okay, so why don't we get started? Um, I'll go through my presentation. Feel free to stop me along the way with questions. But my name is Josh Sherlock. I'm the Deputy Director for CHESLA. So we basically help students and families plan, save, and pay for college, and then we also help to support the state's workforce. So just some background on CHESLA. We were created by the state of Connecticut in 1982. Back in 2012, we became a subsidiary from the governor, uh, the subsidiary of CHEFA, the Connecticut Health and Educational Facilities Authority. We're a quasi-state agency, so we're overseen by the state. We have the state treasurer, secretary of OPM, president of the state community college and university system, and Kelly Marie Valuries from the state's chief workforce officer is also on our board of directors. We also have a diverse advisory board, including school counselors and some retired financial aid professionals. So here are our four main programs that help students and families pay for college. We have financial literacy, we have scholarships, we have our in-school loan program, and then we have our refinancing program for professionals. So paying for college. Let's first talk about our financial literacy portal called CT Dollars and Cents. That's ctdollarsandcents.com. We developed this financial literacy portal in 2017 in coordination with other state entities, including the Treasurer's Office, Office of Higher Education, Consumer Protection, and banking. We view this financial literacy portal as a one-stop shop to help plan, save, and pay for college. So there's a vast array of resources for students and families. There's articles, there's videos, there's calculators. One of my favorite tools is if the student takes out X amount of debt across his or her 4 years, this is how much the student would need to be making at their first job to be able to afford those monthly payments. So it's a great tool so that students and families do not over borrow for the education. There's also tools on managing money and then also finding a career. So it's really a portal that can take anybody from, say, middle school age up into, finding a career, completing your resume, how to prepare for job interviews, et cetera. So a vast array of resources. iGrad, which is a financial literacy provider, powers the majority of resources on the portal. And then CHESLA adds our own resources as well. And it's also not a static website. So we update the content on a quarterly basis, and we send out a newsletter to those subscribed to the CT Dollars and Cents newsletter on kind of what's new and what's been added to the portal. The other point I want to mention here is we do have a high school outreach program. So my colleagues, Shannon and Yesenia, we offer free understanding financial aid presentations to all districts throughout the state, designed to give students and families, take them through the entire paying for college process. And again, this is free, and they're offered either in person or virtually to the districts. Moving on, we have our need-based scholarship program, which provides scholarships to Connecticut residents that attend a Connecticut nonprofit college or university. Historically, our scholarship program has dispersed $11.4 million, impacting over 5,900 students. The first component of the scholarship program is students pursuing an undergraduate degree. That application is open March 1st through May 1st on an annual basis. We actually have our scholarship committee now reviewing the applications, and we'll be deciding on the recipients. So with the undergraduate degree scholarship, the need-based component is that the individuals must be federally Pell Grant eligible. That's how we determine need. We also have a GPA component, which I think is very, very low. It's a 2.5 GPA or higher. So those components get the students' foot in the door. And then we have a scholarship committee that grades some answers to short answer questions to determine who we are going to award. For the undergraduate degree scholarship, the awards are $3,000 for a full-time student and then $1,500 for a half-time student. We also have scholarships for those pursuing certificate programs, which I'll touch on later, a little later in the PowerPoint in terms of how we help support the workforce. CHESLA also has our in-school loan program, which is basically what we were created on in 1982. The in-school loan program is for Connecticut residents or out-of-state students that come in-state to go to a Connecticut institution, UConn, Central, Western, whatever it may be. So an important point to note here is, again, CHESLA is not on the state budget, so we're fully self-sufficient. So our loan program is funded by CHESLA issuing tax-exempt bonds on an annual basis. That brings our funding into CHESLA. We then lend out the money to institutions on behalf of students. And then as students and families pay back the student loan, that's how we pay back our own debt, which is our debt service on the bonds. So our current loan offering is 6.35%. Each academic year, we offer one interest rate. When CHESLA is compared to say other private lenders in the industry, those other private lenders may offer fixed rates ranging from say 5 to 15%. So when the families go to apply for a student loan, yeah, they may end up getting approved with those other lenders, but they really don't know what interest rate they're going to be offered. Again, could be a double-digit interest rate. With CHESLA, it's one interest rate. So the students and families know when they're going to submit the application, exactly what interest rate they're applying for. So the current 6.35% rate is basically our holdover rate from the prior academic year. We never shut the application off. That application is carried over until we complete our new bond deal and release the new interest rate for the upcoming academic year. So we'll be closing on our new bond deal on May 30th, in about a week. And at that time, the interest rate will be set at 6.45% for the 24-25 academic year. Just a couple of points to note here. This rate's going to be about the lowest rate in the industry. We always tell people to complete the FAFSA, apply for grants and scholarships. CHESLA's loan program is here to fill the gap. Take out the federal subsidized and unsubsidized loans before coming to CHESLA. I would just note that the 6.45% rate, and I believe it's only the second time this has ever happened, our rate is actually going to be below the subsidized and unsubsidized federal loans. So we'll still recommend people take out those loans because even though the rate will be higher, there's federal benefits such as income-based repayment, potential forgiveness programs that CHESLA does not have as a quasi-state private lender. But just wanted to note how low our rate is going to be compared to the industry. As another point of comparison, the federal Parent Plus loan will reset as of July 1st. That Parent Plus loan rate will be 9.08% with an origination fee as well. So CHESLA is very competitive compared to the industry. We have no fees with our program, no application fee, no disbursement fee. And we also offer a 0.25% interest rate reduction for recurring payments. So families can get that rate down to 6.1%. Another point to note as well, for undergraduate loans, we do require interest-only payments while the student is in school. I often get asked why. Number one, we're actually trying to help the student and family out. If they were not paying the interest as it accrued, the interest would capitalize on an annual basis, meaning it adds to the principal balance, and then it takes a compounding effect as in subsequent years, the loan's now accruing interest on a higher principal balance. So by paying the interest as it accrues, the student and family are paying less in total over the life of the loan. Number two, with our loan, the student is always the borrower. Based on our underwriting criteria, 97 or 98% of our loans have a cosigner. More often than not, the cosigner, which is often the parent, is making those interest-only payments. But again, the student's the borrower on this loan, so this is on the student's credit report. So even if the cosigner makes those interest-only payments, assuming those interest-only payments are made on time, this is an excellent way to build the student's credit history while they're in school. So then they graduate with a credit history of 4 years of paying their CHESLA student loan while they're in school. Too often students graduate with little to no credit history, and they have to spend 2 to 3 years building up that credit history to pursue a house, condo, new car, whatever it may be. With CHESLA, this enables the student to kind of build up their credit history while they're in school. And so after graduating or leaving school, the loan there's a 6-month grace period in which those interest-only payments continue. After the 6-month grace period, the loan enters the repayment term of principal and interest payments. Typically in the industry, you may see a repayment term of 10 or 15 years. CHESLA's repayment term is a bit unique, 140 months. I've been with CHESLA 13 years. That's just always how the repayment term's been. But that repayment term is about 11 2/3 years. And students and families are free to pay off the loan sooner without penalty. Any excess paid above the normal monthly payment will go directly to the principal balance of the loan. So workforce support. So how does CHESLA help support Connecticut's workforce? So reverting back to our scholarship program, I had previously mentioned our scholarships for undergraduate students. We also offer scholarships for students pursuing a certificate in healthcare manufacturing or with the Connecticut ARC teaching certificate program. So our certificate scholarships, uh, the application opens July 1st annually. And it's an application that's open on a first come, first served basis until funds run out. So we don't require a FAFSA to be completed for this. There's really no need component. Because most of these individuals in the workforce are already established in their careers and looking for an additional certification. So again, it's a first come, first served basis until the funds run out. The awards are $1,250 per student. And the allocated amount for this fiscal year is $45,000. So CHESLA scholarship program, including undergraduate scholarships and certificate scholarships, is annually a $500,000 pot of scholarships. And at our January board meeting with our board of directors, we determine an allocation to split up between the programs. As you can see, the undergraduate scholarships are the bulk of the scholarships, but we reevaluate this each year. I think when we started the certificate scholarship program, the first year might have been $25,000. So we see how quickly the certificate scholarships go out in the fiscal year, and then we reevaluate moving forward. This year we increased the certificate scholarships to $45,000. We also have a refinance program, loan program for Connecticut residents. This is designed for the professional that is kind of secure in their job, and may not have heard about CHESLA while they're in school, and they're better looking to manage their student loan debt. So our refinance program is a little bit different than our in-school program. We do offer a range of rates. The current fixed rates are 4.99% to 7.99% across repayment terms of 5, 10, or 15 years. Like our in-school program, there's no fees, no application fee, no disbursement fee, no fees at all. And the recurring payment, 0.25% reduction is also applicable here, as well. So again, a program to help the professionals better manage their student loan debt. Just generally speaking, the loans I see refinanced are higher interest rate, private student loans. Could be a Sallie Mae, a Citizens Bank. I do often see, believe it or not, double-digit interest rate loans that we are refinancing. So on average, refinance borrowers with our program are reducing their interest rate by nearly 2.5%. So making an impact and providing significant savings over the life of the loan. One last point I want to mention here is I personally offer a personalized refinancing analysis to any interested applicants before applying. So if the interested applicant can provide me with their estimated FICO or credit score and the total amount of loans that they're looking to refinance before the individual even submits an application, I can provide them with a one-page analysis that shows, here are the interest rates you would be looking at, here would be your monthly payments, and here's what you would pay in total over the life of the loan. And then the interested applicant can kind of compare that to their current loans to see, does it make sense for them to move forward and submit an application to refinance with CHESLA. So switching gears a bit, another program we have to support the workforce is an employer student loan repayment program. And we partnered on this program with our Rhode Island, our nonprofit counterpart in Rhode Island, which is also known as RISLA. So with this employer student loan repayment program, employers can help their employees pay down their student loans and offer this as part of the employer's benefit package, right? And so there's federal benefits to offer such a program. The employers can contribute up to $5,250 annually per employee, tax-free. So there's no payroll taxes. It does not constitute, it's not taxed as income to the employee, completely tax-free to the employer and the employee. And with the federal benefits, the employer can pay down any student loan, CHESLA, federal loans, any other private loans, any student loans. Another point to mention here is the state of Connecticut does have a tax credit that the governor, I think it was a public act a few years ago. Currently, the employers, as constituted, can pay down up to the $5,250 and receive a tax credit for paid ons on any CHESLA student loan. Now, in this past legislative session, Senate Bill 13 was passed by the legislature, which will expand the tax credit from just CHESLA loans to any student loan, to basically mirror the federal benefits. That Senate Bill 13 has become Public Act 2452, and it's awaiting the governor's signature. So once the governor signs that public act, the Connecticut tax credit will basically be for a paid on any student loan. So mirror the federal benefits, and then the employer can apply for a tax credit, 50% tax credit, up to $2,625 annually per employee. So with this employer student loan repayment program, CHESLA offers our refinance programs, the financial literacy component, student loans and scholarships if the employee has children that are looking to go to college, but most notably would be our refinance program, where employees can refinance with us if it makes sense to lower their interest rate and our monthly payment. Our Rhode Island counterpart, CHESLA, basically handles the back office and kind of maintenance and application of the benefit. So we really make it easy for the employer to offer the benefit. CHESLA will handle the payments to all of the student loan servicers in the industry. So as you can see here, this is kind of how it works. The